I don't know if you guys recall, but this is actually pretty much the exact same configuration of truck I was looking for a while back, just to kind of have as a long-term review vehicle. I was actually looking for one with the Hemi, not the Cummins, but you know, this package right here is such a great everyday truck because you have so much capability with it, yet you don't have a truck that's overly expensive or a truck that just has too much stuff on it. This is kind of that better than base package trim that still gives you a lot of amenities, while at the same time giving you a package that most people can handle. What's going on, guys? So we are now on the road in this really cool 2022 Lone Star Edition Ram 2500 truck. Now, this is a very unique truck, and if you saw my overview of it, you'll probably know why. There's a lot of really interesting features that you just wouldn't really expect in this type of truck, or at least in a truck with this specific spec package, because it is certainly not a luxury trim package, yet it has a lot of features that you might normally assume would make it a luxury trim package, and I'll explain why. There's a lot of really cool features about this truck, but before we get into some of that stuff and why this truck is so unique, let's talk about its on-road driving dynamics. First of all, there was an area that I didn't set the camera up to record, but it was a really bumpy road, and this truck handles really, really well. It really has a great ride for a 3/4 ton truck. And it just goes to show that manufacturers are really listening, and they're trying to find that equal balance of comfort and utility that people look for when they move from a 1/2 ton to a 3/4 ton truck, or I guess from a 3/4 ton to a 3/4 ton truck. Now, this specific truck has a couple unique features that, again, make it kind of unique. First of all, it's a Lone Star package. What is that? That is essentially a trim package that gives you some convenience features that elevate it up higher than a work truck package and higher than a non-Lone Star equipped package, but well under what you would consider like a Laramie package that has, you know, leather and all the fixins attached to it, basically all the luxury stuff. Well, what makes this truck a bit unique is the fact that it has cloth seats. It has the 8.4-inch Uconnect screen. It does not have navigation. It does not have cooled seats. It has a heated seats. It still has a heated steering wheel. But what is really surprising is that this truck comes equipped with a lot of really great features that you would want, such as front and rear parking sensors. It has the air suspension on it, so I can raise and lower the back end. It has the 5th wheel gooseneck prep package as well, so you can hook up, you know, a drop-in 5th wheel hitch or a goose ball if you want to tow with it. Yet it's a 6.5 foot bed. So that's going to surprise some folks, because typically you see this type of package in a long bed or an 8-foot bed truck. Now, it does have push-button start. It does have push-button 4-wheel drive. It has all of your main controls. It also has the power spot mirrors, which I absolutely love. So you have your standard Ram towing mirrors with that manual flip up and out. But what's nice about this that I really wish Ford would put in their trucks and GM would put in their trucks is it also has electronic spot mirrors. That mirror below the main mirror is electronic, so you can move it, because that's probably the most inconveniencing thing to do when you have to adjust that bottom mirror and you're driving the truck. So again, a lot of really cool features associated with this truck. It even has the camera rear view mirror. So a lot of trucks have that standard mirror, especially when you get them in a less than premium, you know, equipped truck. And this one has that camera mirror, which is really nice. I'm getting more and more used to it the more I get into trucks that actually have that feature. Does not have a remote dropping tailgate, so you do have to manually press the electric button for the tailgate. I do kind of wish that that was a feature, since they're going to equip this truck with the electric tailgate, basically the button that you press. It would have kind of made sense just to have the button on the remote as well, so you could drop it. I can't imagine that being much of a additional feature, especially considering it does have, you know, remote start and power door locks through the key fob. LED headlights in the front, LED fog lights. It doesn't have the premium LED headlights, though, that you would see on a much higher trim like a Limited. It does have, again, the LED taillights in the rear, and it does have the corner rear step. So all of that kind of factored together, you get a really well-equipped truck, especially considering what you're going to pay for a truck like this. So this truck carries an MSRP right at $75,840. So it is not an inexpensive truck, but it's about $12,000 to $15,000 less than a high-spec Laramie or even Laramie Longhorn or Limited truck. So again, you know, it's kind of that relative bargain, but some of the features that are missing from it, especially like leather seats, is an interesting one. So I was going to explain to you why this truck is lacking some of those features. And the main reason why, in my opinion, is that I feel that this specific truck is more designed for towing. I feel that this truck is more designed to actually give you a package that is more utilitarian, but at the same time more functional for people who are looking for that basic truck designed to tow. Now, all that said, one of the things that you do want to keep in mind with this specific truck is that it comes with the 68 RFE transmission. So this does not have the Aisin transmission with it. Had it had the Aisin transmission, the high output Cummins, well then I would have said, yeah, this is specifically, it's exactly designed to tow. That's what it was built for. It does have the 373 rear end in it, so it does have some pretty good tow capacities. The payload capacity on this truck is a bit lower than I'd like to see, 2,000 pounds or right under 2,000 pounds. But again, based on the features that it does have, the air suspension, the fifth wheel gooseneck prep package, all of that, this would be a really good truck for someone who might have a relatively light gooseneck trailer, someone who might want to haul a relatively heavy travel trailer, or someone who might want to use this truck for the occasional towing. Just keep in mind, you want to monitor how much weight you're going to be resting in the back of the truck or over the back of the actual bumper for towing situations. And because this does not have the high output Cummins, it's going to have the 370 horsepower standard Cummins that you get in this truck. So it's a great truck. It's got a lot of really great perks. It's got a lot of the convenience features I think people are looking for. I think one that it is lacking that I would have expected at this price point would have been the navigation. It does not have a sunroof, and I don't mind that at all. I'm personally not a big fan of sunroofs, as I think most of you know, but I know some of you can't live without them. So if you want a sunroof, if that's what is kind of a prerequisite for you to buy a truck, well, this specific package doesn't have one, even though I'm pretty sure you could spec it in as an option if you wanted to. From a front dash, from the entire layout of everything up front, it's a bit lackluster. And I only say that because I've spent time in both limited and Laramie Longhorn and Laramie equipped trucks that have this beautifully kind of two-tone soft touch with hard touch materials dash. It just looks absolutely gorgeous. But because this doesn't fall into that premium trim truck, it's a bit lacking there. It still looks really nice. It just certainly isn't what I'd consider to be a luxury layout to it. It's just more of a basic truck layout. But again, you still get a lot of features in this, and the 8.4-inch navigation certainly isn't small. And there was a time when I'd hop into these trucks where that 8.4-inch screen was just really, really amazing. It really stood out. It was the perfect size. It was a large screen. But now you're starting to see like 14-inch screens on the Tundra, 12-inch screens on a lot of the General Motors trucks, 13-inch screens. Just that larger screen is becoming definitely more dominant in trucks. And the 8.4-inch screen looks like it's a good starter screen. It looks like it's probably as small as you'd want to go in a lot of these trucks. But for me, it's actually kind of the perfect size. Going to like the 12-inch screen, if you get this in the more premium trim package, it sometimes looks a little bit too large, and it's too much real estate to kind of navigate your hand across. But it still plays in well. But again, back to handling, back to ride characteristics, this truck rides great. It feels great. It's a comfortable truck. It feels good for a 3/4 ton. It's definitely something you can spend a lot of time in and feel like you have a truck that gives you that ride that you're looking for, if you're not wanting something like a dually or a 1-ton truck, which is going to have even more of a harder ride to it. But yeah, they've done a good job dialing in the suspension, and I would probably say it's about one of the most comfortable 3/4 ton trucks I've driven in, and that might be partially due to the fact that it does have the rear air suspension that's in place. But yeah, I do like it. A lot to like about the truck. Again, it's kind of that perfect package for someone who doesn't do a lot of towing, someone who wants to have something that's a little bit more, it's hard to say affordable, but at $75,000, it's certainly not going to be affordable to a lot of people. However, it's one of those trucks that I think most people could probably agree is going to be a package that you can get into at a lower price than what you might have to pay for a truck with more features, if that makes sense. Basically, you're walking a dealership lot, you see this truck, you see a Limited, you see a truck with a lower trim package on it, you see a Laramie. This might be the perfect truck for a lot of people who are trying to balance truck price and truck features, because again, it gives you a lot for the money, and almost kind of a strange package because of some of the things it doesn't have, such as leather. But not everyone wants leather seats, And if that's you, if you don't want leather seats, this would be a good option to choose from. So anyways, guys, we're going to have this truck for a bit longer. It's certainly a cool truck. We're actually going to use it right now. I took the bed cover off the back so I have the ability to carry something that I got to pick up. If you've been watching some of my previous videos, you can probably guess what it is. If you haven't, go back and check out some of my other videos and you'll probably have an idea of what we loaded up in the back of this truck today. But yeah, it's fun. It's a nice truck. It feels comfortable. Definitely feels lighter than my 450. It feels very agile, and quite frankly, and here's something a lot of people should focus in on, Ram recently has actually been selected as some of the highest quality produced trucks out there. So a lot of people always wonder, you know, if I buy a Ram, am I getting a truck that's subpar in quality? Not today, at least. These trucks are doing very well in terms of reviews, in terms of long-term and short-term reliability. And that's something I think a lot of people look for. Anyways, guys, I sure hope you've enjoyed this video. If you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you again very soon.